Correct. Yeah, they don't have to re-buy it.
And we are underway.
Nice. All right, so curiously, right off the bat, they're all going to get this wooden sword, but then I'm going to see if people are going to diverge in the routes. Zelda 1 lends itself to lots of different routes, and here you go. We have Dark Magician, RC Drone, and Redbird Grad going to the 3 first route, definitely the advanced route, and Mr. Dunlow is deciding, I'm going to go and do 2 first. It's a bit of a safer route in general, although with this category, you have to go and get the blue boomerang, the magical boomerang, and with 3 hearts, those Gorilla do 1 heart of damage if you touch them or their boomerangs. It can be a little dangerous too.
Yeah, that's right. Those blue gorillas, as you mentioned, 1 heart of damage if their body or boomerangs touch you. Not only that, they take 5 HP, so if you get a bomb drop, that single bomb's not going to be enough to take down the blue gorillas.
Yeah, in that room, usually you just get a 4-pack, and you hit them all 1 time and drop a bomb on each of them. So 1 + 4 to the 5 there. That's usually the strats that work.
So we'll see how this goes. And of course, this is a race, and you only get 1 chance. So the runner's hopes is that they do not take an unfortunate death early, especially against Manhandler here in level 3, or perhaps in Mr. Dunlow's case, to those blue gorillas in that magical boomerang room.
Yeah. But just to clarify, I mean, the way this whole tournament is set up is that this isn't just a one-off race for everybody. We are doing races all week. We're just sort of featuring this one right now. We're doing races every single day almost. And these runners can join as many as they want, and their best time at the end of the week will move on. Will stay for their seeding into the brackets. That's why it's kind of called a qualifier, although everybody's going to make brackets. It's mostly just it's only for seeding.
Right, and Mr. Dunlow got some nice bomb drops from those orange gorillas early on. That made the blue gorilla room much easier for him, but Dark Magician not so lucky here in level 3. Had to work for his bombs, but gets a couple of drops here, so he'll have a few bombs to work with Manhandlug. RC Drone taking care of Manhandlug. Let's see what happens on Dark Magician's side. And we got the bullseye and the bomb drop. Nice shot there for Dark Magician. Now let's see how Redbird does here with his Manhandler fight. Nope, missed the mark on that shot. 1 more segment to go, and he gets him on the last bomb. Very fortunate there.
That's really good. The 3 runners we're featuring on 3 first have all gotten out of level 3. In 100%, really, that's one of the big choke points. In almost anything you do with 3 first in this game, level 3 is the choke point. So it's really, really awesome that we didn't see anybody take a death so far. Yeah, obviously, Drone out in front, and he's one of the best runners of Zelda 1. It is not surprising. He put up the fastest time. Last night was our first race. He put up the fastest time. He was in first place so far with a 36:54, I believe, which is a really solid race time.
That's an immaculate time. To go sub 37 in this category, yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, in a race. I mean, there's only like 5 people or 6 people, I think, now that have, or 7 people, including Drone now. 7 people that have put up a sub 37 ever, let alone in a race.
And Mr. Dunlow here will get his heart container, so if he wanted to, he could go after the white sword. That'll do 2 hit points of damage at the waterfall, but doesn't look like that's on his mind at the moment. He's going to collect the cash first. Let's see how Dark Magician does here in the breakfast room here in level 4. This is where the ladder is that RC Drone just picked up, with Redbird Grad right behind Dark Magician.
Yeah, not too bad. He got eaten by the like there. Not something you really want to happen, but overall, a decent room.
Yeah, because you lose 1 heart every time you get swallowed up by a pancake without any rings. But, on the other hand, it's better than getting hit by a bubble where you lose access to your sword for about 5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
And Drone going to try and get the atomic bomb. Nice shot with that bomb there. He's got 1 bomb left to go, which he might try and force off of this Gleeok here. Let's see what happens. He's going for the bomb force here. So if he gets through the rest of this Gleeok fight without taking damage, he's going to get that 4-pack. He got it.
Yeah, with beams, that's not too bad. And it actually wouldn't have been the worst thing. In an any percent run, leaving level 4 with 0 bombs is disastrous. But in a 100% run, it's actually really okay. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's okay. And why is that?
Well, it's because, well, we have choices of where we can go to next. I mean, we go to level 1, which obviously you can't get a bomb drop unless you go to a Guerrilla here. And of course, you can also purchase bombs as well, or you can of course farm for some bombs here on the way. Let's see what RC Drone's going to do next here. As Dark Magician does finish off Gleeok here in level 4, as does Redbird Grad. So let's see what Drone is heading to next.
Yeah, Drone is actually heading to level 2 because this is in the route. He is not diverging at all. This is the world record route. You actually go to level 2 and then up to level 5. And the reason we want to do that is because there's a heart container right south of level 1. So we want to have a blue candle at least before we go into level 1. So that's why the world record route and the top routes for this category, even not just the world record, but routes that are very close to the world record route, go 3, 4, 2.
And that's the reason why if you leave level 4 without any bombs, it's not the end of the world, because you could get lucky and get some bombs off of those orange gorillas in that third room of level 2.
Absolutely. And like at the end of level 2, you're guaranteed a bomb drop. And in this category, you actually have to get the bomb upgrades. There's 2 bomb upgrades in this game. One of them is in level 5 right before the recorder room, and one of them is in level 7. So even if you don't get any bombs in level 2, you could still technically leave level 2 with a lot of bombs, but you're probably going to fill up on bombs before or after the recorder room, so you're going to be fine.
Yeah, that's right. And we have Dark Magician and Redbird Grad pretty much neck and neck for second place amongst our featured runners. But right now, RC Drone going to collect some cash here from these ropes. Does get a 5 ruby drop from that last one.
Yeah, and Mr. Dunlow's in level 1. Notice that he decided to get the white sword. Since he was doing 2 first, he wanted to pick up some heart containers anyway, and he's sort of in the area. And picking up the white sword on this route is actually pretty beneficial, specifically in levels 3 and 4. So it's a small little time loss to go get it, but you're going to make up a lot more time in those levels, especially if you're not sort of comfortable doing the wood sword strats in there. Makes it a bit easier.
No trouble for Drone getting his magical boomerang from the blue Gorilla room. Let's see. He's going to skirt past this Moldorm here. He does not need that particular key, as Dunlow does get his bow out of level 1.
All right, DM going into the Bloomerang room. Nicely done. Deciding I'm not going to use the last bomb there, which is actually kind of peculiar because he's going to pick up a bomb pack here, so he could have used a bomb instead of sorting it down and still been at 8. Oh, he's going to go for the Moldorm key. So there's some interesting routing choices in 100% as far as your keys go, specifically on this 3 first route. There's kind of 3 keys that are sort of at your disposal, and you need to grab one of them. And I call them keys in general, but one of them being what we call the air key in level 4, the Moldorm key in level 2 here, or to do a pirouette in level 1 to save the key there. So you have to do one of those 3 things, and it looks like Dark Magician has decided to do the Moldorm key over the air key or the pirouette, which technically is the fastest key to get, but might not be the fastest on average, especially for a race. It can go south pretty quickly, but it is the fastest key to get.
Good news for both Dark Magician and Redbird Grad, getting very favorable Trolldongo spawns there, so they were able to finish off the rest of level 2 very quickly and stay neck and neck.
Yeah, and I do want to point something out. I hope this isn't a commentator's curse as we're coming into level 5, but nobody has forfeited from the race so far. That's a great thing. I don't see any forfeits. Right? So that means nobody probably nobody died in level 3 or nobody has taken a death quite yet. So that's really good news. Early forfeits in this game are a thing.
And they're not a good feeling either, because again, because this is a race situation here, you only get one chance. You mess up, that's that. You'll have to wait until the next race to get another crack at it.
Yeah.
So Dark Magician picking up his letter, and Redbird Grad picking up the 100 secret near the heart container right about here, which will get him to 9 hearts.
Yeah, so Redbird Grad is doing a slight altercation of the what's considered the world record route. So he's going to do his South Coast 100 Secret and Heart Container right now before he goes into level 5, whereas Drone and Dark Magician will both do that after level 6 on their way to level 8.
Drone, the first one to enter level 5 here. He'll grab this key from the Gibdo and then bomb his way to the left side into historic Fort Gibdo.
Let's see how Fort Gibdo treats him today.
Perfect. So he's through.
So he's going to leave that bomb there. I'm going to be curious to see. Some runners do the recorder room first if he's got a count built up, or even if he does or doesn't, sometimes getting the 12 bombs right here for the recorder room is really nice. And yeah, he's just going to go get the bomb upgrade first.
Yeah, some people like to call this area the penalty box because they might farm the keys to try to build up their count and get the 10 count off of a blue Darknet. That won't be the case here because, again, he's going to pick up that bomb upgrade to top out his capacity now at 12.
He is still building up his count because he like forcing bombs is always good.
Oh, no question about it here. Now, with these blue Darknets, you'll always have to be careful. They take 8 hit points, and every time you get bopped by them, you lose 2 hearts. If you have a blue ring, of course, you only lose 1 heart, so gonna have to be careful here, but so far so good here. Forcing that bomb is RC Drone. He's just got 1 blue Darknet left. He got him. Good room.
That was a pretty solid room. It's not like it wasn't blistering, but that was really solid for a race, and really most people's PB attempts would love to see something like that.
And interesting strategy here. Dunlo only using 1 bomb, doesn't get the bullseye, and just decides to sword the rest of Manhandla. Each segment takes 2 hits, so he only lost a net of 1 heart, so pretty solid fight there for him.
Yeah, sometimes your sword can get sort of better positioning on him, and especially that's the benefit of having that white sword. Like you would never, you don't really see that with wooden sword strats, so that's one of the benefits of having the white sword.
Yeah, not at all random effect, because each segment would then take 4 wooden sword hits, so it's really not practical. That's why you want to get that bomb drop, and you want to try and get that bullseye if you can. Because if you run out of bombs in that fight with the wood sword, chances are you're probably not going to live to tell the tale.
Yeah, it's not fun at all.
So now Redbird Grad here in the penalty box here in level 5. He'll get his bomb upgrade. He's got a whopping 245 rupees to his name, so he ended up getting all of his large secrets right away. And it looks like Dunlo is going to head over here and purchase his bait, which he will need for level 7, as Dark Magician has emerged his way out of the Olive Garden, but does take a hit from one of the Gibdos here in Fort Gibdo, so he's down to 7 hearts.
And nothing to be alarmed about. He's still got a lot of health. And remember, they're going to go to level 1 next, and you really only need 1 bomb in there, and you got plenty of opportunities to force and or just get lucky bombs too. So, even leaving here with only a handful of bombs is okay as well. You need 1 bomb for level 1 and 1 bomb for level 6. So as long as you're leaving with 2, you're sitting okay.
And Drone is out of level 5 as Redbird Grad's going to pick up his recorder here in level 5 as Dunlo now heading for level 4 to get his ladder.
Yeah, Drone out of level 5. That was probably around like a 14, 15 or so. I'm going to check and see, just sort of thinking about the pace there.
So here's where having that blue candle before level 1 is going to be very crucial, because he's going to burn this bush here in Candle Row to pick up the next of the take any's. He'll get this heart container, which will put him at 11 hearts. The next heart container he grabs will entitle him to the magical sword at the grave next to level 6.
Yeah. And I was just checking my own splits on this category to see kind of where Drone is standing right now. I left level 5 just over 14 minutes, and he left it about 14, 15 or so. So he's got a really solid run right now for a race.
To answer the question in chat, the 3 categories, last week we featured the any percent category. This week it's the 100% category. Next week we're going to have the swordless category.
Oh boy.
But unlike the Zelda randomizer tournament that's been going on, you do not need to kill Ganon, because in the vanilla game, you can't kill Ganon without having a sword. So all you got to do is get to Ganon's room, and that's where the race ends.
Yeah, which makes level 9... I mean, level 9's already kind of a pain in the swordless, but it makes it a little bit better, a little bit more palatable, since you don't have to do the Silver Arrow room.
Yeah, that's right. That's a couple of less Wizrobe rooms you have to tackle in swordless.
Yeah. But level 6 and level 9 are still pretty terrible.
And Redbird Grad out of level 5 as Dark Magician heading for level 1 right now. Drone picking up his bow here. So now one interesting fact here. We're here in level 1. All these runners do have the magical boomerang. If for some reason they needed to clear that Guerrilla room that carries the wooden boomerang and they were to pick it up, it does not supersede the magical boomerang you already have. If you were to pick that up, you would still have the magical boomerang. It's not like playing Castlevania 2 where you can actually downgrade your whip. There's no downgrading your items here in Zelda.
Oh, thank God.
Of course, with 6 bombs, Drone, no need to go after the Guerrillas here, as Redbird Grad's about to get his 12th heart container here at Candle Row, and he will have enough to get the magical sword on his way to level 1 himself.
Mr. Dunlow quietly had a pretty good level 4, I think. His Gleeok fight was really solid, and he is out of level 4. On his route now, he has done 2, 1, 3, and 4. I believe he'll probably go towards level 5 now in some fashion, but I don't know exactly how he's going to do it. I don't think he's been doing any screen scrolling, so I'm not sure. He might just walk it completely all the way, or might go to the south coast at this point.
Yeah, the screen scrolling's no joke. It can be difficult to do because your pixels have to be pretty much on point. So while it is essential if you want to go for a world record time, just to play the game, you don't need to know how to do the screen scroll, but it doesn't hurt to know how.
Yeah, I've always said of screen scrolling, it's pretty easy to learn, and will take years. It just take years to sort of perfect and master. It's all about muscle memory, and the more you do it, the sort of easier it becomes to feel it and see it.
Dark Magician through level 1. RC Drone on his way to getting the magical sword. Does not take any damage from the firing squad, so he still has all of his health intact. You really want to have that beam sword going into level 6, not just for the belfry room, but for that first magical breakfast room. It really helps to have that beam sword.
Absolutely, yeah. Beams in 6 all the way is an incredible feeling. And remember, we have to go get the wand in level 6, so that's an extra room of combat that these runners have to go through.
And RC Drone narrowly avoiding the firing squad here, so he still has full health. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Another Wizrobe room he's going to have to clear. Now, thankfully, the room that he's got to clear to get the wand, there are no bubbles to deal with, unlike the other 2 magical breakfast rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Redbird Grad getting his key. Yeah, very nice.
That was a nice belfry from Drone there. He lost it. He lost his beams on the end, but he got through the belfry, and that's one of the rooms where you really want the beams, because those bats can just go all over the place.
Oh, yeah. They look like the easiest enemy in the world, but keys can be a pain if you don't have that beam sword in that particular room. And I'll tell you what a first breakfast room there for RC Drone. Didn't lose any health there.
Yeah, that was really solid. And yeah, I'll echo the sentiment that I think Keese are the worst enemy in the game. I have lost more runs in this game to Keese than any other enemy, to be honest.
Well, for me, I think I've lost more runs to bubbles. I don't like bubbles.
That'll happen too. I think for me, it's really, you know, when you play this game at a really high level, you need to keep your counts, and Keys will ruin your counts at the worst times.
Yep, and so will bubbles, of course. But
yeah, true.
Look at that room there for RC Drone. That's pretty much a textbook Wizrobe room to get his wand, so he'll have that at his disposal, and he'll have one more magical breakfast room left to go. He still has plenty of health.
Yeah, he's sitting really good. He'll want to get some more bombs. I know RC Drone does track his globals really nicely all the way through the game, so he'll know where his bomb chances are. But right now, he's definitely going to want some bombs because he's going to need one on the south coast, and then 3 inside of 3 inside of level 8 itself. So he's going to want another pack.
Dunlo does the screen scroll to get to level 5 from that position. Well done there. So he'll be entering level 5. And now Dark Magician just got past the first magical breakfast room. Drone just about ready to wrap up the second magical breakfast room, and is still looking pretty good in the health department.
Yep, and Red Regret is entering level 6 now. He's already got a pack of bombs, so that's really good. He doesn't have to go farming. But he lost a heart, and now he's going to have to do the Belfry without beams.
Yeah, unfortunately, he lost a heart along the way and did not get a lucky heart drop. But that was still a pretty solid Belfry room without that beam sword.
Yeah, they were pretty cooperative.
And Drone getting past Goma there, so he has got the Triforce out of level 6 as Dark Magician gets his wand out of level 6. Meanwhile, Dunlo here in the Olive Garden, the room of requirement here. He's got 7 bombs at his disposal, and he still has most of his health. Fortunately, the blue dart nuts are not grouping together, so it's making this room a little bit slower than he'd probably like.
Yeah, he did have some good groupings there, and he took advantage of it, but there was a few times where he probably could have pressed it a little harder. I think he's valuing health at this point, when I don't blame him in a race. Dark Magician, though, down to half a heart.
Oh, he's going to have to be very careful here. Hit from anything, he's gone. He's only got 1 bomb left. He's going to take care of that orange Wizrobe.
Okay.
All the Wizrobes are down, but he still has to make sure he doesn't get hit by those pancakes or he's out.
Yeah, he's got arrows, though, and he's got plenty of them.
I like that move. You've got the cash. You're down to half a heart. You might as well use the arrows. The only bad thing is that pancakes are not in any dropping group, so if he gets hit by these keys here on this stairway, he's done.
Yep, he's through. I think he was trying to see if he could kill the Zol there potentially for a drop. There we go. Okay, that's going to help him out.
Yeah, he can afford to now take a hit in the Goma room, but he still can't get hit here in the Swizzro room. He gets by safely. Come on, get that shot in. He's got him! Nice job!
1 and done. All right, Mr. Dunlo, though, playing the Dark Nut dance over here, trying not to take too much damage. Those Dark Nuts out leaving level 5 on the way out can be pretty vicious.
Unfortunately, a rough manhandler fight for RC Drone en route to the book here, the first of 2 items here in level 8.
Yeah, the book. This is the 100% category. Is the only category in this game where we get the book. Not very great in the vanilla game, but thankfully Fred beefed it up in the randomizer to have some really neat effects. So bringing the book back.
I like this move that Redbird Grad did against Goma here. He looked for what kind of pattern he was going to do first before switching to arrow, so he would anticipate where the Goma was going to go. That way he's going to nail his shot and not get the 2-cycle of shame.
Yeah, it's really nice. RC got a nice fairy drop. I think that's probably better than the bomb that he might have been expecting there. But I do agree. Doing it if you can hold off in switching, that is the strat to do. I've always tended to like having arrows ready in case I get bubbled right away. But it's to each their own.
Absolutely right there. So yeah, Drone was down in his health early on, but now he's got a lot of health for the second Blue Lagoon room here, taking down these 6 blue dart nuts. Thankfully, with the magical sword, they go down in just 2 hits as opposed to 4 hits with the white sword and 8 with the wood sword.
And they didn't really cooperate well. They kind of spread out a little bit on him. That room wasn't bad, but it definitely not what you would want to see, especially in like a PB run.
Let's see if Drone can get the one cycle on the Blue Goma. Hard to do. He got him.
Easy to do when he comes straight down at you. He can do 3 patterns: come straight down, go left, or go right. And the down pattern will basically guarantee you a one cycle. The left pattern can one cycle, not with too much difficulty, but if he goes right, it's actually really difficult, I think, to do the one cycle there.
Yeah, because you need 3 wooden arrows to take down a blue Goma as opposed to 1 for an orange Goma. Now, with the silver arrows, obviously you don't get them until level 9. You still would need 2 of those to take down a blue Goma.
And just to point out, Redbird has actually surpassed Dark Magician right now, just by, I don't know, maybe like 30 or so seconds. And Dark Magician took a bit of damage in the Manhandle fight and having a little trouble with the clip there. So he's going to get his book here. Meanwhile, Drone is going towards the Gleeok fight, 4-headed Gleeok.
Nice use of the magical boomerang there for Dunlow after waking up the Armos. Use it to stun him in place and grab that power bracelet. Unfortunately, though, Dunlow getting hit by the firing squad here en route to the magical sword, so he's already down 2.5 hearts.
I actually didn't realize that Dark Magician is short a bomb. He has no bombs.
Ooh,
that is really bad.
Not good.
You need a bomb. So he's going to have to leave level 8 here and go farm in the overworld. That is not what you want to see. I don't think this room is bunnies. Oh, no. Well, either way, it's not. I didn't think it was a bomb dropping group in there.
No.
So yeah, he's going to have to leave. Yeah. That's really bad.
That's really unfortunate, but that is the nature of Zelda sometimes, is resources, and you don't get lucky with those bomb drops. There's a bomb drop, though, so he didn't lose too much time.
Yeah, that's going to be like, through all of his farming, that's probably going to be close to like a minute or so. It's not what you want to see, but it definitely could have been worse. And that's why you got to think about your bombs. Even in this category, when you're getting bomb upgrades, you need to think about your bombs and try to force when you can, because like I said, in level 1 you just need 1, in level 6 you just need 1, in level 8 you need 4 for the South Coast Heart and the rest of level 8. So just it's unfortunate.
Drone now heading into level 7. He picked up that 100 rupee secret at the Dead Woods, which will give him the right to purchase the second bomb upgrade. That will give him 16 bombs maximum capacity.
Yep. And really, in level 9, you're going to need quite a bit of bombs, because they have to make a little bit of a detour to get that red ring, and it does require 3 additional bombs, actually, to get it.
Redbird completes level 8. Dark Magician is able to skirt by the Manhandla here, but there's that right side pattern, so not going to be a one cycle for Dark Magician.
Yeah, it's really, really tough to get the one cycle there. Ooh, and he misses the 2 cycle.
Yeah, it looked like he had the shot, but Goma saying, but he does take down the Goma on that particular cycle. Dunlow here in level 6 just needs to take down these 2 blue Wizros, but he lost a couple of hearts there, so he's got 5.5 hearts, so he's going to have to be careful with that next magical breakfast room, as Dark Magician will pick up his magical key.
Yeah, Mr. Dunlow gets the wand, but he's got to be, like I said, a little bit careful. He's got 1 more combat room to really deal with, and then he's in the clear. Meanwhile, Drone is going through, what do you call it? The 33 rooms of torture?
Yep, 33 rooms of pure chaos, torture, mayhem, whatever word you can think of here. But thankfully, in the vanilla game, it's not as bad as it is in the randomizer.
Drone,
but
get the red candle, Drone.
Oh,
Drone
no.
forgot the red candle.
And you have to have the red candle in 100%. He has forgotten the red candle, and if he doesn't go back for it, that's going to disqualify his run. Does he see it in his inventory?
We'll see if he sees it right now. He's going back.
He did see it in his inventory, so thankfully Drone is going to correct his mistake, but that's probably going to cost him any chance of a race PB here.
Yeah, he was already going to be a bit close to the race PB, I think. And yeah, that's going to cost a good 15 seconds or so. But still a really solid run, and I'm glad that he remembered that.
Dark Magician getting a lucky fairy drop at the end of that Gleeok fight. That'll lessen the refill time for him. Yeah, and another thing about level 7, you have the Gurias, a lot of the blue Gurias that take away 1 heart. But then you have the less famous Reverse C, but still one that can cause problems, because you have the Wall Masters. There are 5 of them. You have to clear all of them before you can push the block. And of course, we have our old friend, the Bubbles. And not to mention that Wall Masters love to drop clocks, and you don't want to pick up a clock in this room, because if you do, it freezes the room, and if you haven't cleared that 5th Wall Master, you have to exit the room and come back in again.
Yeah, and when you go pick up the red candle, the spawns of the bubbles in that Reverse C are actually really bad. In any percent, when we do that room, we get the most favorable bubble pattern so that you can get on the bottom row. Most of the time, you can get on the bottom row and not be disturbed. But in this one, there's a bubble right on that row, and it's going to get in your way, and you don't want to get bubbled in that room.
Yeah, because if you get grabbed by the Wall Master, it's going to send you all the way back to the beginning of level 7. And that's like a couple minutes of a time loss right there.
Yeah, exactly. So Drone picking up the level 7 Triforce right about 31 minutes, just a bit after. So if he has a really good level 9, he can have just about a 37-minute time. I'd say a 6-minute level 9 is really good. Under 6 is a really solid, like really good level 9. So I'd be curious if he could do that.
Nice moves there for Red Regret to go around, and there's that clock, and that clock is not your friend.
Yeah, you can pick it up once he gets the last one spawn, which is why you waited until it got out of the wall, then you can pick it up.
Dark Magician going to buy his 2nd bomb upgrade and still has 3 rupees to spare. RC Drone having 13 bombs. That's plenty of fodder for this level 9 coming up here, where he will get the red ring, which will quadruple his defense, which makes the back half of level 9 pretty much a breeze.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's got more than enough bombs. Usually, people are entering here with 10 or 11 bombs, which is still enough. He's got 2 extra than that. But when you got the red ring and the magical sword in level 9, bombs are less effective overall. You just tank everything.
And the only exception is those bubbles in the Reverse C room and a couple of the other combat rooms here. So in this particular route, we get to see a 4th Patra, because there is a Patra guarding the room that's going to get you to the red ring.
And he got a favorable Patra spawn there to move up, which is actually kind of rare, so he didn't have to stop in moving down to this next room. He's going to stab through this Patra, get to the bomb wall, and then right north of this room will be the red ring room.
Let's see if he can get the block clip here. He does! Very nicely done there for Drone.
That was solid. So he got the clip first, then turned around after the clip, and still stabbed the red Wizrobe that was in his way. That was fantastic.
Very nifty moves there. Rebergrad into level 9 himself, so I tell you what, he's made up some ground on RC Drone, and it looks like he's on a pretty solid pace himself.
Yeah, I didn't see when he picked up level 8's Triforce to kind of gauge, or level 7's Triforce, excuse me, to try to gauge it. But we'll see. We'll see when he picks up the arrows. It's going to be, with the red ring especially, if they have enough hearts, they can do a lot of more aggressive strats on the back end of 9. But I'd say for top runners, you should probably be looking at like a 150, 155 ending from the silver arrow with the red ring in this category.
And let's see, and Drone only takes 1 bot from Patra 4 here, so he's in pretty good shape to get his red ring with plenty of health still to spare. Can he get the clip, though? He does. And let's see how Dunlow does against this Goma here. He does
Ooh.
2-cycle. Very nicely done.
Very nice. All right, so Redbird got his red ring. Redbird is red now. Drone into the reverse C, really nicely done. Doesn't have to get bubbled, and is leaving with plenty of health. It doesn't look like it, but he's got that red ring. It takes his damage down a quarter. He is sitting on essentially 28 hearts-ish, 30 hearts.
Yep, 30 hearts indeed. So he's got his silver arrows from the reverse C room, and now Redbird Grad taking care of the next room. Very nicely done. Still has plenty of health to his name. Meanwhile, Dunlow getting ready to finish off level 8 here. Just has to get by this final Dart Nut. He still has a good portion of health to take with him to the Gleeok fight. But now Dart Magician entering level 9 himself.
Yeah, if Mr. Dunlow takes this a bit easy, he'll get through it no problem. When you try to be a little bit too aggressive here, it could backfire.
Yeah, you need 9 hits to take care of the 4-headed Gleeok. 3 for the first head, 2 for the other 3, but he's just got 1 head left to go. He's got him. Now here we have Redbird Grad in the reverse C room. Unfortunately, he's taking some damage here, and the bubble's not cooperating, staying on the inner part of that reverse C, but does manage to take down that last blue Wizrobe. He'll get his silver arrow.
Yep, and here goes Drone. He's going to do a fast Patra strat. Just get all up in there and just take all of them out because you're not really worried about health now.
Don't blink. You'll miss it. That was a fast Patra fight. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Gannon.
Yeah, and he entered here about 36, 38, so he can still get a sub.
And he
there
got
it is, actually a sub 37.
Wow, another sub 37 for RC Drone. Even with the mistake on that red candle, another fantastic run for Drone. Get your GGs out for him.
Well, it's a sub 37 on his on the timers that we see. It looked like it was a sub 37, but in SRL time, which they go right from the countdown, is actually a 37:03. So yeah, GG to RC Drone. RC Drone actually coming in second in the overall race. JSR put up a fantastic time in first place of this race off stream here. With a 36:35 SRL time, which is about a 36:32.
Oh, that's fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, Redbird with the grayscale strats there coming out of that final required Wizrobe room there. So we got a little bit of 1940s. 2 for 2 for Redbird.
Nice.
The swag points for Redbird Grad here as he just has 1 more B left here on this Patra. No problem there. And now for Redbird, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Here's Gannon. All right, let's see if Redbird gets the same fortunate pattern that Drone did. Looks like he's going to get it. And nice. Down goes the pig.
Yeah, that's a really solid time. So Redbird Grad, I mean, he's putting up a time of a 38. Let's see where Redbird Grad was. 38:31. That is definitely behind his time from last night. That's why I was doing a lot of swag there. But in between, Redbird Grad finished in 5th place overall. We had 2 other finishers. Cantaloupe Me and BTs both had a tied 38:10. They both got 38:10.
Wow, that would have been one heck of a race to call if those 2 would have been racing. That is amazing there. I'll tell you what, though, JSR with his 36:32, he barely missed a PB. He was only 2 seconds away from getting a new PB in a race. I mean, in a race situation, that is not easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, his time can be improved. I think his time on the leaderboard, it might not be his actual time. I thought he had run some 100% lately. And I say lately, like this year, and this might be about 10 to 12 seconds from his PB, but still really solid.
Dark Magician had a little bit trouble with that reverse clip, but he didn't panic, and he was able to turn around and do the reverse clip on the rebound there. So he was a little patient there, and it paid off. He still has a good amount of health here to finish up this run. Meanwhile, Dunlow here getting ready to finish off level 7 here. He just has to clear this reverse C room. Hopefully he doesn't get trolled too terribly here, but here come those bubbles.
Yeah, one other thing to mention, Rooslugs actually finished in 6th place as well with a 38.58, really solid time out of Rooslugs, a recent sub-30.
More 1940s Zelda as Dark Magician also pulling off the grayscale coming out of the spike trap. Oh, but it couldn't go second time. He was a little bit early on that bomb there, but maybe he'll get one here. Yeah! Dark Magician with 4.5 hearts opted to play a safer Patra fight because a high roll driver will still cost you 1 heart. And if you get a very bad Ganon pattern, you could still get killed by him even with the red ring. So now for the 3rd time, here's Ganon. Let's see if Ganon cooperates 3 times in a row. Here we go. There's one. There's a high roll driver right there. Good thing he had that red ring, because if he didn't have a red ring, he'd have been down to half a heart. 3. Got him. More bacon, and Dark Magician, get your GGs out for him.
Yeah, Dark Magician's going to come in with around a 41.20, finishing in... Sorry, there's a lot of chatter in the SRL. I got to find his time. There he is. Coming in 7th place with a 41.25 SRL time, so GG.
Yep, now Mr. Dunlow getting ready to go into level 9. He's trying to get an extra bomb drop from the Blue Lionels, or maybe he was just trying to skirt by him so he wouldn't take any damage. And so far, he's in good shape. Can he get through this last one? Oh, there's a bomb drop. Is the game going to tempt him? It's going to, and he doesn't take any damage. And with that, we do have Redbird Grad here in the commentator's booth. GG, it's a solid time for you tonight. Probably not the time you were looking for, but still, you played a pretty good run tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Les. I appreciate it. I was out of the gate when I didn't get any globals, like in 3 and 4, and it was kind of minus 30 after 4. I knew it wasn't going to be my night, but you know, being on stream, I kind of had to finish it out for you guys, and I was happy with how I played, given what the hand was dealt to me. You know.
Yeah, I must say you played very, very solidly tonight. And I will say this, you and Dark Magician 1184 must have been copying each other's notes, because you both did double grayscale out of the Spike Trap Wizard Room, and then right before Patra 3.
I mean, if you're not going to PB, you got to put on a show, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was really nice. Yeah, sometimes this game, it just doesn't give it to you early on. And you know, just like us, that most races, you're starting off plus 20 to your PB, and it's not a great feeling, but it's pretty much what everybody's going to do.
No, you hit the nail on the head there. I mean, it's kind of one of those to where you know out of 4 if you're going to have a decent shot at it or not. And I knew I didn't, but I was happy with, like, you know, Recorder Room didn't go so hot for me, but all the other, like, little segments did, and I had a couple golds in here tonight, so I was really happy with how I buckled down and played, given all the rest of it.
I must say, Dunlow showed some really good skills there on his way to the red ring there. He was patient waiting for Patra 4 to move out of the way so he wouldn't take any damage. And those 2 Wizrobe rooms and the block clip, very immaculate.
Yeah, he got to the red ring, and he only lost 2.5 hearts getting to the red ring. That's better than most runners will do. So he is sitting very pretty going into the chunk of level 9 here. Meanwhile, off stream as well, we had another finisher, Tetrally, finished in 8th place with 43.42, improved their personal best SRL time by 57 seconds. So
very nicely done there.
Congrats to Tetra.
Absolutely. A very respectable time for her. Well done. So here we are, Mr. Dunlow here in the next room, and with that red rig, he can start taking damage, and he gets a bomb drop from the orange Wizrobes here. So, yeah, with that red ring, those blue Wizrobes will only do a half a heart of damage, whereas without that ring, they're doing 2 hearts of damage.
Yeah, and there was a question in chat about the grayscale. What happens there is that when you lay a bomb and it explodes, the entire screen actually goes gray for I don't know if it's not one frame, but I think it's just a few frames, few fractions of a second. And if you transition during one of those fractions of a second, you'll actually gray out the next screen that you're in until you leave it. So that's what the grayscale is.
Nice. Dunno was able to get through Patra 2 without taking damage there. Again, being very patient here in this level 9. And it's definitely paid off for him. He's not taking much damage. Let's see how this reverse C room goes for him. Not a great spawn here, but again, with that red ring, it's only going to cost you 1 heart to get a beam to the face as opposed to 4 hearts without that red ring. And he's going to use those bombs. He might as well.
Yeah, he's got a lot of HP, and it's better to take the damage. But sometimes you want to go to the middle instead of staying on the bottom, especially when you have a bubble in you. It's better just to go to the middle and take all the damage. You get a little bit more space to maneuver.
Yeah, that last blue wizard decided not to play nice, but he still has enough bombs to complete the game. He has 1 bomb extra.
So, Redbird Grad, you put a lot of work into a lot of categories, but it may be any percent. Oh wait, what I miss?
Man,
you missed the clip.
No, finish up with him. We can talk later. Finish up with this dude.
The blue Wizrobe just Dikembe Mutombo Dunlo. He had the right pixel to do the block clip, and then the blue Wizrobe just pushed him back, saying, "Not today!" Ho ho ho!
Oh man, and now he's down to 4 hearts, which is still enough, but he's a little bit more in worry mode in the latter half of level 9.
Yeah, because he still has to get through Patra 2, and Patra 2 not cooperating. He got bopped twice there, so now he's down to 3 hearts.
Yeah, but he's going to take it a little safe around the legs. That's a good race strat to just clip around there. It costs you a second on average, but if you get liked, not only does it take your health down, it takes your time down, and the clipping would be faster. So clipping around there is actually a good race strat.
Absolutely. Final required Wizrobe room does get a heart drop, is able to avoid the orange Wizrobe beam, does get bopped a couple times. Very nice.
He gets another heart drop, so he's leaving there with more health than he came in with, which is really nice.
Where are those drops when we're playing the game random effect? Alright, so 1 final bomb here does get a beam to the back by that blue Wizard. He's down to 2.5 hearts, so he's going to have to play the last part of this cool.
Yeah, he can keep his distance on Patra here a little bit. And yeah, he's keeping his distance. He's like, I'm just going to stay in the corner. You come to me.
Yeah, he's going to wait for those bees to straighten out, because you have the 2 kinds of patterns. You have the spherical patter, where the bees just kind of move in a spherical pattern like that. And then you have the expando patra. Which one is worse, you think?
Oh, the expando patra is way worse by far.
And for the final time, here's Gannon. Gonna have to be careful, though. He's down to 2 hearts. Remember, a high roll driver will cost him 1 heart, just like that. And he's got a potion, thankfully. He did pick up a safety potion, because he must have purchased one, because you can't grab a potion out of the take any, because that would disqualify you from getting all of the heart containers. So he purchased the potion, and it's going to come in handy. He'll refill his health, and he can finish this fight.
Yeah, that was really nice that he had the extra potion there. Most runners in 100% will not get the potion just because it costs 60 more rupees for you to get that. But Mr. Dunlo is saying, I'm going to want that for this race. Specifically, if you have a little bit of trouble getting to the red ring, the red potion can be really invaluable. And yeah, get your GGs out for Mr. Dunlo finishing up as the final finisher on our restreamed 4 in 9th place, with a time of 48:39, improved their personal best race time, at least, by 4 minutes and 29 seconds. So,
fantastic. Way to go to Mr. Dunlo here, and way to go to all 4 of our runners featured here on SpeedGaming tonight. Not one of them suffered an unfortunate death, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, and right behind him, John Tabin in 10th place with a 48:48. So literally less than 10 seconds behind was John Tabin. So yeah, great runs. I'm really happy that nobody died on stream. That's probably a first for a 4-way vanilla Zelda 1 race, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, because you always have that one Patra, that one Manhandler, that one Gliok that likes to troll the runners here, and then boom, it's all over them. Not tonight. All 4 of our runners playing very solidly. They survive.
Yeah, so going back to Redbird Grad here in my comments, you've definitely played a lot of categories. You've put the most effort into the any percent no Up+A category, got a sub 30 out of that. But what is it sort of about 100% that is maybe better or worse, or what, like, compared to the other categories? How do you feel about this 100% no Up+A category?
Yeah, for sure. It feels a little easier, I think, as a moderate to experienced runner, just because you have more hearts at some of the key moments. 8's a little more difficult just because you have a little more real estate to cover, and you got the Goma and all that stuff. But I mean, you have more health at almost every pivotal point. So even like the recorder room and those types of things, it's just a little easier. It's still difficult to start like 3 and 4 or 3 and 4. But there's more flexibility in your routing with the key situation and that type of thing. So it feels like an easier category, quote unquote. But I mean, it can get you. Like you can see, there was people that died tonight. BT died tonight and he still beat me. But anyway, it happens. I like the category a lot. If anybody's out there just wanting to learn the game, this is a great one to do it because, like I said, you do have more of the health in the middle of the game, and you're seeing more of the map, and you're seeing what more of the items do and those types of things. So it's a great starter category as well.
Yeah, I would agree. Zelda 1 in general just lends itself to all sorts of different routes from beginner to intermediate to advanced, and this category sort of is no different. But I do agree with everything you sort of said there. It's really just about getting out of level 3 and 4, same as any percent. But then after you get out of there, it's much easier, as you said, for the more hearts you have, the order in which you do the dungeons usually, and getting the bomb upgrade in 5 and the bomb upgrade in 7 is actually super beneficial to replenish your bombs at the 2 points that you really want them to be replenished.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're having magical going through 7 instead of wood sword. So even if you get in a sticky situation, like you have an upgraded arsenal, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and one thing to point out, actually, that hasn't really been pointed out yet. So 100% is not a category. So we, as admins of the tournament, we kind of chose some categories that hadn't gotten some love, but that we felt people could do with a little bit of practice. And so 100% no Up+A hasn't really been raced all that much. JSR off stream set the race world record. The race world record is now 36:35.
Dude, when he done, I'm like, that's got to be something. Like it was just, I was expecting, JSR or Drone or somebody to done soon, but like the done came way faster than I thought it was, and I was like, man, that had to be something tonight, race world record or something. So GG's to him. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that is definitely within 10 seconds of his PB, his posted PB.
Yeah,
it's definitely within 5. It's probably within about 3 seconds of his posted PB, but I think he's done a little bit better than that and hasn't submitted it.
I mean, if he grinds this thing for a week, you and I both know he could just have it.
Yeah, I was really. If I'm within 1 second of him, he usually just crushes it and puts another minute between us. So, yeah, fantastic runs by really everybody tonight, especially our featured runners. So, if you're interested in more Zelda 1 action, definitely these 4 runners, you can give them a follow. They were playing Zelda on the regular. And they are fantastic runners in and of themselves. So definitely give them a follow. And any names you heard tonight, if you want more Z1 action, we'll be doing some more races in hopefully to be featured on SpeedGaming Network later this week as well for the 100% no Up+A. I'm not sure what is scheduled though, so forgive me.
I will tell you that for the next 2 nights, the race is coming up. Whether or not it's going to be restreamed, again, that's going to be determined. But the next 2 races are going to take place tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern.
Yep, and we have more races out throughout the week, but those are the 2 coming up. We usually have about 1 race a day. We're trying to make it available for a lot of our runners. People, live in West Coast USA, East Coast USA. We got a couple of European runners that we want to get our times right so that everybody has a ample opportunity to really participate and get a good run.
Absolutely. So I think with that, that's going to do it for tonight's action.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for hanging out and talking and commentating with me, Laz. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. It was fun doing commentary with you as well, Random Effect. So, on behalf of our 4 runners tonight, Dark Magician, Mr. Dunlow, RC Drone, and Redbird Grad, for everybody here on our Speed Gaming family of networks, and for my commentator partner, Random Effect, it's LOZ Cards Fan 23 signing off. Have yourselves a great evening, and we will see you again tomorrow night. So long, everyone.